To the Benzano podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. What the heck is going on? What a Wednesday it has been over the last 7-8 hours. Caitlin Clark dropping a new colorway, showing us a new colorway. This is the color of your shoe that you should have shown us the first time. I'm a fan. Number two, we got Stephanie White letting us all know Aaliyah Boston is out for today's game, but letting us all know that Caitlin Clark will be out for tomorrow's game. We are load managing Caitlin Clark for the rest.
The silence has finally been broken, and the words coming out of the Indiana Fever organization have the entire league reeling. For weeks, Caitlin Clark has been the target of physical hits and a bizarre silence from her own team. But the moment Congress stepped in, everything changed. It wasn't a standard PR quote, it was a defensive strike that many believe reveals a massive internal rift. The standard of excellence the team claims to uphold is being called into question, as fans realize the organization might be hiding more than they are letting on. The bombshell statement has officially turned a sports story into a political firestorm that no one saw coming.
We have Congress, as I'm sure we've all seen by now, demanding answers from the WNBA, demanding answers from Kathy Engelbert, demanding answers from Kathy Engelbert, demanding answers from the WNBA. Yet the Indiana Fever, I don't know if it's a guilty conscience, I'm not sure what it is. The Indiana Fever felt the need to respond. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. First look at Caitlin Clark's new yellow.
A group of U.S. lawmakers officially penned a letter to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, demanding immediate answers regarding player safety and the treatment of the league's biggest star. This isn't just about hard fouls anymore. It is a full-blown investigation into whether the league is failing to protect its most valuable asset. While the WNBA tried to play it cool, the Indiana Fever felt the heat and did something completely unexpected. They did not wait for a formal inquiry to reach their offices before they fired back with a public statement that felt strangely rushed and desperate. It was a move that raised more questions than it actually answered.
Caitlin Clark will be available, and they'll flip-flop tomorrow for the game against Phoenix, where Boston will be available and Clark will be out. This is load management. This is what they fired Scott Agnes for. In case you guys aren't aware, this is what they fired Scott Agnes for.
Just Aaliyah Boston was obviously listed as questionable yesterday. How did she feel through shoot around, and do you have an update on her status for tonight?
Yeah, she just did some of the shooting. She's going to be out tonight. Again with the back-to-back. And Caitlin are back-to-back. Caitlin's going to be active tonight. AB's not, and then they'll flip-flop tomorrow night.
The Fever claimed they had zero interaction with this congressional group and were totally unaware the letter even existed until it hit the news. But if they were not mentioned by name in that specific document, why were they the first ones to jump to the podium to defend themselves? Critics are pointing to a guilty conscience within the front office, suggesting the team is terrified of what a federal look into their operations might actually uncover. For a team that stayed silent while their star player was getting hammered on the court for months, this sudden urge to speak up for the league's standards feels like a massive red flag to everyone watching.
Favorite player is going to play, or if the team is going to have her load manage, or she's going to load manage. You don't want to do that as a fan. You don't want to do that. I've used this example numerous times. The Lakers were coming to Brooklyn to play the Nets. I was getting ready to hit purchase. This is what, 5, 6, 7 years ago. This is a long time ago. I was getting ready to hit purchase on a ticket sale. I said, you know what? Let me just make sure that none of these guys are load managing. I open up the ESPN app. I come to find out LeBron's load managing, Anthony Davis load managing. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. And as a fan, I hate even having to be...
Just as the political drama peaked, the team dropped another bombshell that has everyone questioning the coaching staff's competence. Stephanie White announced a load management plan that keeps Aaliyah Boston out of one game and Caitlin Clark out of the next. In a league where every game counts, and fans pay top dollar to see the stars, benching the face of the franchise while she is healthy is a move that has disaster written all over it. This isn't just resting a player, it is a strategic retreat that is leaving the fan base feeling betrayed. The timing of this rest, alongside a congressional investigation, is suspicious, to say the least.
Either you can play or can't, this load management bullshit is soft, and I don't think it's the player's decision. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. This coach is incompetent. Yeah, I'm not. This organization landed back-to-back #1 picks and have done nothing but fail them, failed to build around them, failed to get them a coach who knows how to maximize them as a duo, and failed to keep them injury-free. Nothing but constant injuries for CC since Stephanie White became coach. I'm a huge Clark supporter, but even for me, this act is getting exhausting. Hey, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
There is a dark rumor swirling around the organization that this specific type of load management is exactly why former staff members were shown the door. Insiders suggest Scott Agnes was let go because he did not see eye to eye with this soft approach to the season. If the Fever are willing to fire people over how much Caitlin plays, it shows a level of micromanagement that usually signals a sinking ship. The fans are not buying the rest excuse, especially when Clark looks ready to play every single night and build the chemistry this team so desperately needs. It feels like the organization is trying to control the narrative by controlling her minutes and a standard of excellence across the league.
Now, our organization nor Caitlin have had any interaction with anyone in this congressional group. They didn't even mention you in this letter, Indiana Fever. They didn't even mention your team. They didn't even say Caitlin Clark, a player for the Indiana Fever. They didn't even mention your team, yet you felt the need to chime in. Secondly, they want answers from Kathy Engelbert. Why are they going to reach out to you? Why are they going to ask you anything? We have been clear in our public comments in our ongoing dialogue with the league about this priority of player safety. What comments?
Veteran fans and analysts are calling this move a sign of an incompetent coaching staff that does not know how to handle generational talent. You do not see this in Major League Baseball, where stars play 162 games, and you certainly do not see it in the NFL. To bring this NBA-style load management into the WNBA right now, while the spotlight is at its brightest, feels like a slap in the face to the growth of the game. It is a move that protects the ego of the coaches more than the health of the players. And the backlash is only just beginning. The fans want to see their icons play, not sit on the bench for a theory.
It probably would have been a good idea for the Fever organization and coaching staff to make more of an effort to publicly stand up for Caitlin. For 3 years, people have watched Caitlin get hammered on the court in the name of physicality. That's true. For 3 years, we've been watching it. No, we don't. We absolutely don't know where you stand. We don't. I brought this up. You'd think the Fever were mentioned by name in that letter, the way they responded so quickly, right? What, guilty conscience, perhaps? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
The Fever statement emphasized their ongoing dialogue with the league about player safety. Yet, fans are asking where that energy was during the actual games. We have watched for weeks as Caitlin Clark was literally hit in the throat and knocked to the floor without a single teammate or coach catching a technical foul in her defense. To claim you care about safety in a letter to Congress, while staying silent on the sidelines, is the ultimate form of hypocrisy. It is a PR spin designed to shield the front office from a federal spotlight they clearly are not ready for. The disconnect between their words and their actions on the court is deafening.
Few hours responding to that letter. Remember, Stephanie White, fake news on the hot seat, they responded. Caitlin Clark smear campaign for 2 weeks, quiet. Congress demanding questions, they responded. Caitlin Clark getting a fist in the throat, quiet. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, have the video, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. See you in the venue later tonight. And as always, take it easy.
In the middle of this firestorm, the team tried to pivot the conversation by showcasing Caitlin's new Nike Caitlin One colorway. The new yellow and blue kicks are undeniably fire, looking way more unique and crisper than the original white and blue versions we saw first. But the timing of the reveal is beyond suspicious to veteran observers. Dropping hype shoe content the same day you announce your star is being benched for a game feels like a classic distraction tactic. They want us looking at her feet instead of looking at the coaching decisions and the congressional letters that are currently holding this team back from its full potential. While the drama unfolds, the business side of the Caitlin Clark brand is still moving at light speed, with a holiday 2026 release date for the new shoes. At $140, they are hitting a solid price point that undercuts the expensive Jordans, making them accessible to the massive younger audience Clark has brought to the sport. But will people still be lining up for those shoes if the team continues to bench her for load management reasons? The brand depends on her being on the court, and every game she misses is a hit to the momentum she has built over the last 3 years. The business of CC is at risk if the team keeps her sidelined. Stephanie White is officially on the hot seat. Whether the team wants to admit it or not, landing back-to-back #1 picks is a dream scenario, but the Fever have turned it into a nightmare of constant injuries and mismanagement. There is a growing sentiment that the organization has failed to build a system that maximizes Clark's passing and scoring abilities. Instead of an explosive offense, we are seeing a restricted, overmanaged version of a player who should be running wild. The load management is just the latest piece of evidence in a long trail of errors that has fans calling for a complete overhaul of the coaching staff. The letter from Congress was not just a polite suggestion. It was a demand for accountability regarding the physical targeting of specific players. Lawmakers are noticing the same thing fans are. There is a double standard in how the league handles physicality against Clark compared to other stars. By ignoring the fist-to-the-throat moments, but responding instantly to a letter from D.C., the Indiana Fever have shown exactly what they fear. They do not fear the fans' frustration or the media's critique, but they definitely fear the legal and political consequences of a formal investigation into their workplace environment and safety protocols. That if you are a fan who bought tickets to see the Fever play the Phoenix Mercury, you just got the worst news possible. Benching Clark for a back-to-back game is a slap in the face to the people who are driving the record-breaking attendance numbers this season. Imagine paying hundreds of dollars and traveling to the arena, only to find out the main attraction is sitting on the bench in street clothes because of a management theory. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth that stays there for years, and it is the quickest way to kill the incredible momentum the WNBA has finally found. You cannot build a league on the backs of benched superstars. For 2 weeks, there was a visible smear campaign against Caitlin Clark's character and playing style, and the Indiana Fever organization stayed absolutely quiet. They did not put out statements defending her work ethic or her impact on the game while she was being torn down by talking heads on every network. But the second the word Congress appeared in a headline, they found their pens and their voices. This selective defense proves that the organization is more interested in protecting its image than its players. It is a betrayal of the standard of excellence they supposedly stand for, and the fans are not letting them forget it. Looking forward, the holiday 2026 release for her Nike line feels like an eternity away in the fast-paced world of sports marketing. Usually, you want to strike while the iron is hot, but the delay suggests that Nike is playing a long game. Or perhaps they are waiting to see if the Fever can actually get their act together. If Clark is still being load managed and the team is still stuck in controversy 2 years from now, that shoe launch might not have the same impact. The instability of the Indiana front office is a genuine threat to her billion-dollar potential, and everyone from Nike to Congress seems to be taking notice of the chaos. Chloe Peterson has become the unofficial mouthpiece for the Fever, delivering the news that the team is too afraid to say in a formal press conference. Using a beat reporter to filter these controversial statements allows the organization to keep a level of distance, but the fans see right through the strategy when the team says they will continue to stick up for our team. Everyone is asking, when did you actually start? Because, from the outside looking in, it seems like Caitlin Clark has been on an island, fighting her own battles both on the court and in the media for her entire pro career. The support feels like too little, too late. That we cannot forget that Aaliyah Boston is also being caught in this management crossfire. Resting a former #1 pick alongside the current one might seem like a way to keep them fresh, but it is actually preventing them from developing the on-court chemistry they need to win. These two should be the most feared duo in the league, but they cannot find a rhythm if they are constantly being swapped in and out of the lineup. It feels like the coaching staff is trying to play a slow game of chess while the rest of the league is playing high-speed basketball, and the Fever are losing both the game and the respect of their dedicated supporters. The word incompetent is being thrown around a lot lately when it comes to the Fever's leadership. It is one thing to lose games because you are rebuilding. It is another thing to lose games because you are intentionally handicapping your best players with unnecessary benchings. Fans are pointing out that this organization has had every opportunity to succeed and has consistently chosen the path of most resistance. From questionable coaching hires to this new load management drama, the pattern of failure is becoming impossible to ignore, and the congressional investigation might be the only way to force the changes that the team so desperately needs. Let's go back to those yellow shoes for a second because the timing of the first look is too perfect to be a coincidence. Right as the LA Sparks game approached and the news of the benching broke, the team's social media was flooded with close-ups of the new kicks. It is a classic PR smoke and mirrors play. They know the yellow pop is going to get likes and shares, potentially burying the negative headlines about the congressional letter and the benching, but a new colorway cannot hide the fact that the team's internal culture is currently under a massive microscope. A fresh coat of paint does not fix a crumbling foundation. The Fever claim to have an ongoing dialogue with the WNBA about player safety. But what does that actually mean in practice? If that dialogue is not resulting in flagrant fouls being called or a change in how Clark is defended, then it is just empty talk. It is a way for the team to look busy without actually doing the hard work of protecting their star. If Congress feels the need to step in, it is because the ongoing dialogue has clearly failed to produce results. The league and the team have been given plenty of chances to fix this internally, and they have dropped the ball every single time a real challenge has appeared. There is a visceral reaction from the old-school basketball community against this move. They see a young, healthy player like Caitlin Clark being told she cannot play, and they see a coach who is terrified of the grind. This soft approach is seen as a cancer that starts in the front office and spreads to the locker room. If the players are not allowed to compete every night, how can they ever build the toughness required to win a championship? Stephanie White's strategy might be modern, but it is sucking the soul out of a team that finally had something to play for. You cannot manage your way to greatness from the bench. One of the strangest parts of the Fever's response was the fact that they were not even mentioned by name in the letter to the WNBA. The congressional inquiry was directed at the league office and the commissioner. Yet, the Fever reacted like they were the ones being served a subpoena. This jumpiness suggests that there is internal documentation or communication that they are worried will come to light during an investigation. If you are doing everything right, you do not panic when a letter is sent to your boss. You only panic when you know you are the one who messed up the assignment, and the truth is about to be revealed to the public. As we head into the next stretch of the season, the pressure on the Indiana Fever is at an all-time high. They are not just playing against other teams anymore. They are playing against a narrative of failure and a potential government inquiry. Every move they make, from what shoes Caitlin wears to who sits on the bench for rest, will be analyzed by millions of eyes. The fans are exhausted, the critics are loud, and the organization is running out of excuses. They landed a once-in-a-lifetime talent. And right now, it looks like they are doing everything in their power to waste her prime years and alienate the people who support them. Ultimately, this is not just about basketball or shoes. It is about the responsibility of an organization to its players and its public. The Indiana Fever are at a crossroads where they have to decide if they want to be a serious contender or a PR machine that hides behind statements and load management. Caitlin Clark has done her part by bringing the world to their doorstep, but the front office seems terrified of the light. If they do not start standing up for their stars as quickly as they stand up to protect their image, the shocking investigation might be the least of their worries. The clock is ticking on their credibility.